Hey guys, it's Gina. Last video of 2011. And I hope we got some new plans for 2012, so I hope to pull that off for you. But this is my review on Clockwork Prince. And I got the copy that was exclusive to Barnes& and Noble, which I don't like buying things at Barnes& and Noble because the books are way too expensive. I think I paid, I don't know, like 20 some dollars for this book. Yeah, it was $19.99 plus tax. So, but because they did the exclusive content, which stinks only to Barnes and Noble, it was the Will's letter to his parents and a letter that he wrote in a copy of Tale of Two Cities to Tessa. So Angie and I went out to Barnes and Noble and got this. I usually get stuff from Half Price Books, or I go to, that's my new place since Borders closed, or I go to Amazon because they're always cheaper. And if you spend like $25, it's free shipping. So, or if you're a Prime member, it's always free shipping. But this book, of course, 5 stars. There's no need to even explain that. It's a Cassandra Clare book. So, and it was definitely just like all the other books of hers. I love her writing. You fall in love with the characters. You enjoy the characters. You enjoy the world. I was telling Angie, this is such a big, massive book. And I mean, it could have been double, triple this. And I wouldn't have minded. Like, even Cassandra Clare's books are the kind that, I mean, there's something always going on and you always want to read. But even if it was to slow up some, and even if the characters, I think I said this on Goodreads while I was reading it, even if the characters were just sitting under a tree pondering or thinking, I would just want to read that because I just want to be in their world with them because she creates such great characters. And I will say, towards the end of this video, I'm going to tell you guys that, okay, it's spoiler time, and then you can cut it off if you haven't read this. But right now, there will be no spoilers. So I'll warn you on that because I would love to talk a little bit about this book. But for right now, I won't tell you what team I'm on because I will tell you that even though I love the story, I love every character, it didn't necessarily end how I would have liked it to end. I know there's going to be a third book, but I was just like, oh yeah, I love this book, I love this book, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, Magnus Bane, oh my gosh, Will, Jim, Tessa, oh my gosh, loved it, loved the action, and it got down to the last couple of chapters, I was like, what? What? And what Cassandra did, it's believable, it's understandable, it's heartbreaking, it's sad, it's joyful for some, it's loving, but it's like there is no turning back. There's no turning back on how this book ended. I don't see. So, but I still absolutely loved it. It had lots of action. You get answers. There was a lot of questions raised in book 1, and you get a lot of answers in this book, but also there's, of course, more questions, typical Cassandra Clare, and stuff that was left undone. Magnus is in a major portion throughout this book. He comes and goes throughout this whole book, which I love because I fell deeper and deeper and deeper in love with Magnus. So I loved him in her Mortal Instrument series, which is sitting right here, and I love City of Bones is missing because a friend is at work is borrowing it. But yeah, I love Magnus from the very beginning. I'm so glad that she put him. It's so cool how it worked out that he is a warlock, and so that he could live. He could have lived longer years, and he, is immortal, so he could be in this series. So I'm so happy with that because every time he showed up on the page, it was like, how she describes him, the things he says, the way his mannerisms. I love him. Okay, so there's a couple things that I want to talk about. I definitely recommend that you read Cassandra Clare's series. I do agree with most people what they say when they're talking about how you don't have to have read the Mortal Instrument series to have read this Infernal Device series. I think that it's really cool if you do, because you know a lot of history and you know these characters, and most people are saying that they're starting to like this series more than the Mortal Instrument series. I actually kind of thought that too, but I think the reason is because when you think about it as one big series, I think it's really just a big series that just gets better and better and better, because it's not only got mentions the older character, or the characters that you already know, plus Magnus, who we all just adore, is still in this, and you're getting to see him pre who he hooks up with in City of Bones series. So I think that you just have a deeper love for these characters, and maybe that's why. Plus, Victorian is just awesome, so that makes it even greater. But now, if you haven't read this book, I'm going to start like talking about this book and how it ended. So please, if you've read it and you don't want to be spoiled, shut me off. So, and I will see you in 2012. So, bye. Happy reading. Okay, now, for all of you that have read this book, oh my gosh! I am totally, as nobody would probably be surprised, I'm Team Will. Actually, I'm Team Magnus. If she could write my character into this book and allow me and Magnus to fall in love with each other, and him marry me and make me immortal and live with him forever, that would be my dream. But other than that, for Tessa, I love Will. I love Jim. I think he's sweet. I think he's adorable. But Cassandra Clare has just, and I know that she has this sweet kind of friendship, caring love for Jim, but she also has this kind of, that meant to be passionate, fiery love that doesn't kindle, and that is meant to be kind of like the Jason Clary kind of love. No matter what comes and goes, they've got this connection, and this real, true love between them. And I think that she is kind of settling with Jim, which I would never want Jim to be hurt, and I know he's so happy. But the way that the book ended, there's no way, like, Tessa and Will can now be together, but I mean, it did seem realistic, but she in no way can, after promising, Will cannot break Jim's heart, and Tessa's not going to break Jim's heart. So she's got to move forward on her commitment. I don't see any way out of that. The only two ways that I see out of that is if Jim realizes what's happening with Will and Tessa, and he just bows out completely and says this, something like that. Or if he dies. And if he dies, then it's kind of like, okay, well, Tessa, you did choose him. I know it's because you really don't hurt him and you did love him, but not like me. But yeah, you did still marry him. And how is Will going to be with her if Jim dies? Even if they are together after Jim dies, if that's how she's going to resolve it, oh gosh. So, and I don't want Jim to die, which we all know he's going to, unless Magnus Bane or somebody gets a cure. So it just drives you insane. So I can't wait till book 3. It's called The Clockwork Princess. I can't wait for it, and I don't think it comes out. I don't even know when it comes out. I don't know if it's this year or next year, but I can't wait for it. But I'm still going to read it, and even if Tessa ends up with Jim, I'm okay with that as long as Will's okay. But right now he's totally not, and I hate it, and I don't want her with Jim. But I hope somehow it works out where she is with Will. But I'm thinking, okay, this is Cassandra Clare. What is she going to do? I have no clue. And I'm thinking, okay, with Jason Clary, like, Clary didn't end up with Simon, she ended up with Jace. Okay, this time is Cassandra going to really shock us, and the character's going to end up with Jim, the kind of friend one, instead of Will? I hope not. But like I said, I just don't see how this could ever be solved, because why would Will, after they've been married and everything, why would Will end up then taking her after Jim dies? It seems like the choice has been made. I don't know, unless he just sits around waiting on her. I don't know. I'm confused, and I really want to know what's going on. But that's Jim, and he's cool. He's cool as can be, but he's just not Will, the way Will and Tessa's relationship is. So that was just my opinion. That's what drove me crazy. But Magnus, oh my gosh, he was so cute in this book and so cool, and just how he interacted with Will and how he helped him. And like in the Mortal Instruments, you always know that he's got this good side, but he wants to not really show that all the time. And he's just got this really cool kind of underneath, like, just doesn't even know. He's so cool that he doesn't even know how cool he is. So that's really cool. But and just to know who he ends up with in the Mortal Instruments series, and then reading it how he helped people and what he did, that's really cool. So let's see. The only other thing I wanted to say was I was spoiled a little bit because no one told me not to read these exclusive things, and you really shouldn't read either of them until you read the book. So, and I actually did. I read the inscription that he wrote to Tessa in The Tale of Two Cities, and I'm like, Will's gonna find, that means Will's gonna find out what is wrong, why he has to hold people back and stuff, and you're gonna find out what's wrong with him, and there was something wrong with him, and he's gonna overcome that. So, and these are the people who have read the book. So if you've read the book, you can read the exclusive stuff. If you haven't read if you don't have the exclusive copy and you don't want to buy it, I would, if you've got a copy of the book and you've read it or whatever, I would go to Barnes & Noble and just sit down with the book and read these two exclusives. Also, there's an exclusive where it's from Jim's perspective, and it's him when he first met Tessa in book 1 of Clockwork Angel. And it's pretty good. It's only like 2 or 3 pages. Walmart has it, and I think they're the only ones that have it. So I actually went into Walmart and just stood there and read it, because I didn't want to rebuy the book just for that, because I knew the Will content was in here, and that's what I wanted. Team Will, yay! And Magnus. So, okay guys, I said all I gotta say. If you guys want to discuss it with me, either message me or go to YA Fiction Freaks at blogspot.com, scroll all the way down, click on Gina's Goodreads account, friend me, and message me all you want. We can talk about this book, because I love talking about this book. So I hope you guys had a great year. My Goodreads account, I reached 56% of my to read. I read 30 books out of, or 31 it says, out of my 55 books. So not too bad, but I'm going to lower my book this year. So my goal, probably maybe to 40, because that'll still stretch me, but it's more reachable, especially with work and kids and whatnot. So, all right, have a great day and happy reading, and see you in 2012. Happy New Year! Happy reading!